This episode of Test Drive is brought to you by Ash Gregoire, with 30 dealerships and over 3,000 vehicles in stock.
For the most part here on Test Drive, we get offered vehicles that are more or less the top-end trim. Depending on what kind of vehicle it is, sometimes the manufacturers will throw in a mid-trim that's kind of special, but for the most part, the automakers want to give us the best to show you what the best is to offer, which is why it's interesting and exciting to be able to feature this car today. This, my friends, is a 2021 Toyota Corolla LE, more or less the entry-level vehicle. Now, yeah, there is technically a trim below it, the L, and this does come with the LE upgrade package, but it does give you a pretty good idea of what an affordable compact car has to offer in 2021. And I wouldn't be able to do this today if it weren't for my friends at Ash Gregoire. This vehicle is for sale at one of their 30 dealerships across North America. And if you're interested in either this Corolla or any of the other 3,000 plus vehicles they have in stock, you can save $200 off your next purchase by visiting promo.ashgregoire.com/Nile. So big thanks to them for letting us feature this 2021 Corolla LE. Now here's some info about it. There is quite a lot going on for a base model vehicle. If we think back to like 10-15 years, you didn't really get much, but today there's quite a bit of standard kit. So if you go with the absolute base model, you're getting bi-LED headlamps with LED daytime running lights, 10 airbags, hill start assist, the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, which adds quite a bit, including pre-collision with pedestrian and bike detection, dynamic radar cruise control, lane departure alert, auto high beams, a 7-inch infotainment system, 6 speakers, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and keyless entry. That's pretty good for the base model. Now, because we have the LE, we also get an 8-inch touchscreen with single-zone automatic climate control, heated front seats, blind spot information, rear cross-traffic alert, and a wiper blade de-icer. We have the $2,000 LE upgrade package on this that adds the 16-inch alloy rims, Qi wireless charging for your smartphone, a smart key with a push-button start, power moonroof, heated leather-wrapped steering wheel. We also have heated front seats, which comes on the LE. So you do get quite a bit of kit for a vehicle that doesn't cost a whole lot. Now, the styling of the Corolla, that's going to be up to you. Some people don't like the design language that they've been going with. It has sort of a Lexus front end, the wide grille at the bottom. I think it's inoffensive and it works for this type of vehicle. It's not over the top, but you get what you kind of need out of it. And spacing on the inside is pretty good as well. I do fit in the back seats, although headroom is a little tight back there. It can only sit on either outside seat, but for the most part, you're getting what you would expect out of a compact vehicle. Up front, the interior is pretty straightforward. You do have the screen with button controls for your HVAC settings and the heated seats. Pretty much everything that you would want is where it needs to be. Plus, with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you just plug in your USB and you're good to go. Now, it is important to note, I use an iPhone 12 Pro Max. It doesn't work with the charger. Yes, it does technically charge it, but if you move it just like a millimeter, the phone won't charge anymore. We do find that sometimes with the larger smartphones. So it depends on what kind of phone you use, but if you're going to be using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you're going to have to plug in by USB anyway, so the wireless charging might not be that big of a deal for you. The Toyota Corolla, as configured this way, comes with a 1.8-liter inline-4 engine, producing 139 horsepower, 126 pound-feet of torque. It uses a CVT, or continuously variable transmission, and it comes front-wheel drive only. Now we're going to hit the road with this 2021 Corolla LE and see what it has to offer and why you might be considering both this vehicle and this trim if you're in the market for a new compact sedan. Well, chances are if you're buying a compact sedan, you want to save some cash, and one of the ways you can do it is with fuel economy. So how did the 2021 Toyota Corolla LE do on our test loop? It completed it in 6 liters per 100 kilometers. How does that compare to some of the recent compact cars we've done? Well, the 2020 Nissan Sentra completed it in 5.3 liters per 100 kilometers. It's pretty good. That is a good number on that vehicle. The other one that we've completed was the Mazda 3 GT with the turbo all-wheel drive engine. That did it in 6.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So that makes sense, that's an all-wheel drive car, but we don't do too much in this segment, unfortunately. So as we get some more cars done, we'll have a better idea. But 6 liters per 100 kilometers isn't bad at all. So you're gonna be doing pretty well. Plus, Toyota is one of the very few, it really is the only vehicle that offers a hybrid aside from the Honda Insight, which I said when we did that video that the Insight should be the Civic, and guess what? The 2022 Civic looks a whole lot like the Insight, so you're welcome, Honda. But yeah, you can get a hybrid with this as well. That's something that I'd like to feature down the road. You know, obviously we have the regular version here. If we had a hybrid available, I would have definitely taken that, but yeah, you've got some choice there. And I think that hybrid tech should sort of be the standard for a lot of vehicles, especially in the size segment. It'd be nice. But anyway, how does the rest of the car perform, handle, ride, drive, and all of that? Well, it's pretty comparable to other compact vehicles I've driven. I'm pretty impressed with the interior road noise on here. It's pretty similar to other vehicles, but I'd say it's just a little quieter than it is in some of the other compact cars I've driven. Not like the Mazda 3 that kind of stands out on its own as a more premium-oriented vehicle. But yeah, the inside here works. It's quiet. It's comfortable. The cloth seats here work for me. I am comfortable. I've got a couple adjustment ways that you can use for it, and it's fine. And visibility is good too. I have no complaints about that. I do sit a little high. I'm almost touching the headliner. And as I mentioned, in the back seat, yeah, I'm pretty tight back there. But it's kind of what you get in this territory. There isn't a whole lot of space when it comes to the compact segment anymore, so you're stuck with those dimensions. But it works. Tech-wise, it's pretty good. I was pretty impressed to find that this had a wireless phone charger. Plus, you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto if you want to use those. You know, you just have your regular radio and everything in here, but it's fine. Everything works. You're looking at a new car. This is a great way to go, because I gotta say, the standard tech that you get with this, and the fact that you get radar cruise control, I mean, almost nobody offers that unless you go with the absolute top end trim. The fact that Toyota gives it to you for free, basically, on the base model, that's pretty good. So you do get a lot of standard safety tech. That's why, yeah, I'd say that this vehicle is not only a safe choice in terms of safety, right? It's got 10 airbags and all this safety tech, but it's a safe choice in the sense that you really can't go wrong with it. You know, there's a lot of cars to choose from in this segment, but there's a reason why the Toyota Corolla sells so well, and it's the reason why Toyota is such a large manufacturer. The cars work. They don't go out of their way to make things very exciting, and that's fine, because for a lot of people, that's what they want. They want something that they can trust. And I gotta say, you can definitely trust the Corolla. You really can't beat it for the price, but it's something that you can rely on. There is a proven track record for reliability with Toyota vehicles. This one doesn't have a whole lot of mileage on it, 5,600 kilometers. It's pretty much what we would get from a press car. It actually holds on to its value pretty well. This is essentially the only time I've ever done a used car that still qualifies as being new, in the sense that it's a 2021, which is when we're filming this, but the mileage is pretty low. So you're saving a few $1,000s off the original MSRP, which is good, but it's also good too if you buy this, you know that you'll get a good resale value down the road, especially if you take care of it. But I gotta say that there really isn't anything to fault about this car. You're getting what you signed up for. It's not overly expensive, and it works pretty well. So this could be a great first car, a decent enough family car, depending on how big your kids are and how big your family is. But it does work. Trunk space is good, and the overall performance has been fine too. I haven't had any issues getting up to speed. The CVT works. You know, you do have a brake mode, which is a little confusing. If you get into this, you see the B, you almost think that it is a hybrid, but it's not. It just kind of revs the engine a little bit higher, so that as you're letting go of the gas, you sort of slow down faster, using engine brakes a little bit. But aside from that, I mean, there really isn't anything to fault about it. Maybe the styling is the only thing that I can see people not being 100% on, and that's been sort of the way that Toyota has been going recently. They are getting a little bit more aggressive with their designs, which is not typical for Toyota. They really do like to be conservative so that they don't upset their ownership base. But with this one, I think it's kind of right in that mix. You know, it's starting to get a little funky without going completely funky, but it seems to work. People still like it. So overall, I gotta say that I'm happy that I had the chance to drive the Corolla. This definitely came up on my list of vehicles I wanted to do, since we don't get to feature Toyota very often here on Test Drive. So I want to give a big thanks again to my friends at Ash Gregoire for letting us feature this one. If you want to know more about it, as I mentioned, you can visit promo.ashgregoire.com/Niall. Not only will you save $200 on the purchase of your next used vehicle from them, but you'll also be helping out the show as well. And if you have any questions about this car, you can let me know in the comments below. We have these vehicles for a week, so I get to spend quite a bit of time with it and get to know it pretty well. So I will do my best to answer any questions you have about it and go over that on the comments. I try to get back to everybody that I can. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.